Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our brand new NASCAR series that we have coming to the channel. And no, this is not NASCAR 21 Ignition because I think by all accounts that game sucks. So this is NASCAR Heat 5, which I prefer the career mode and how they do it here because that is what we are going to be doing in this series is a racing team career and see if we can't build ourselves to be in the top of the NASCAR sport. So, as always, you have to start out down below in the dirt track. Well, I guess you don't have to, maybe. But that's where we've chosen to start from the very beginning. Many a path that a lot of drivers and teams have to follow through. And so, this is where we are going. Dirt track, we did join a team for the first season, mainly because I think you kind of have to. It didn't give me the option to start my own. Not like I would have had any money to do that, anyways. So we are joining up with BGH Racing, and we are going to go ahead and hop into it. Now, the AI settings, I think, are hard or normal. I'll have to double check them. But other than that, everything else is going to be pretty smooth going as far as the difficulty in the driving. And dirt racing is difficult enough, really. I mean, if you think about it, having to try to, and I can't do it. I just can't drift around these turns technically like you're kind of supposed to. But we don't have a fast enough car really anyways to kind of make that work. So that is going to be a slight issue for us starting out here, season 1, race 1. This is, I believe, in Las Vegas. Yes, we are at the Exalta 50 here in Las Vegas. The race length that we're doing is 50%, right? I'm doing multiple stages, single lap qualifying. As you see right there, we come in pretty much at the back of the pack. So that's going to be kind of tough starting out this first race. Now, we are going to simulate a lot of races so we can get basically kind of through the seasons, through the career. We'll highlight some of the bigger races to start the season, in the season, so forth, and kind of track our development on up. So we are getting ready to go green here in Las Vegas, and that green flag has dropped. And we weren't last because a couple people had to move back, as you kind of saw there. But we are quickly getting into that last place spot. You know, we're kind of in a hurry to become last. Not really something you want as a racing team, but so be it. And like I said, I hate these dirt tracks. And Tony Stewart, I mean, good Lord, man, the guy lives to race. He does do dirt racing. He pretty much races all year round. That is his life. So he got to the back because of some car issues, and now he's quickly working his way back up front. However, we are sitting back here in about 22nd and 23rd, kind of alternating there between, looks like Russell that's kind of battling with us for that 22nd spot. As we take these turns, and you'll notice some of these guys are able to end up drifting a lot better than what I can pull off, and then they cut you short like that too. And here comes another one, he just rams into me. Everybody acts like that stuff's my fault whenever they hit me on those. It's just kind of the way racing goes. These teams don't know you yet, so they're not really friendly with you. You haven't built up the rapport and done all that Twitter crap they do in this game. So it becomes pretty rough racing in some of these seasons, especially when you get into the new league, where they're going from dirt racing to truck, or truck to Xfinity, NASCAR, so forth. We are getting around here. These laps do go pretty quick. This first stage is going to be 14 laps. So like I said, out of a 50% race, they look like a lot of laps, but these go by quick. And this stuff puts some big time stress on your thumbs trying to hit these turns, going around just right. And when you don't have a car that's very fast, like us stuck in kind of a slower one, you have no choice but to kind of hammer into those corners and just hope we do what we did there and just bounce off another opponent relatively quickly. Now, we did finish that first phase in 23rd, and that's actually kind of where we maintained through the second set. And so here we are now in the final phase of this first race here, the Exalta 50, as we are trailing in 23rd place. Now, Willis, who's up ahead of us, shows 24th, and that's because he has been lapped, and we just managed to get lapped, I think, for the second time in this race as they are going around us. You talk about the difference between the fastest cars and the not so fastest cars and the slower ones. Teams with less money, less prestige, you're seeing it right now. All of these other leaders just hauling butt around the track. And it's not even the speed on the turns, it's the speed coming out of the turns on the short little straightaways is where they make most of their space up. And we're going to advance a little bit further here in the final stage as we come to the final about 5 laps here. Still maintaining 23rd. I had to check my car real quick, so switch through the views to make sure I'm damaging everything. But 5 laps to go, 23rd place. We're actually kind of sailing, knowing that Willis has actually already been lapped by us. I don't see him being able to make that type of time up with his car. We're both a couple of the slower ones. And here I can't even make the turn until we finally kick it off at the end. And there comes somebody slamming into us. That's beautiful. As the leaders actually crossed the finish line before we could even finish our laps, you can tell we were about 4 laps down. But we did get 23rd, so it's not last. I mean, that's a positive, right? And like I said, we are going to simulate a lot of these races. So we did get 23rd in the first race. And we've actually went on ahead and moved, simulated up here to the 5th race, which is going to be the Wrangler 100 at Bristol, I guess Bristol Motor Speedway that they decided to cover with dirt for this one. Now looking at our finishes, we did get a couple top 20s in there, which is kind of odd considering that, you know, we ourselves can't do very good. It's kind of sad when the simulation does better than you do, but hey, it's a learning process. The motor mile and Bristol Motor Speedway, what is it, the motor mile or the mile of mayhem, some crap like that they call it. We are here, it is a Wrangler 100, so 50%, it is going to be a total of about 50 laps, give or take. Now we obviously won't run all 50, we'll show just some of them through each stage. But this track, I think, is one we could actually do pretty well in because these turns, like I said, we don't have the greatest amount of speed anyways. So if we can hit these turns just right, should give us a pretty decent time. So here we are in the qualifying round, needing to set the goal of 19.3 seconds. And we are giving it everything we got. We're hardly letting off the gas. And we really don't use our brake very much. And coming around, we are able to actually beat our goal of 19.3, and we get 18 seconds in, and that actually qualifies us for 10th. This is a top 10 starting position. Really didn't think it would come this quick. 5th race of the season, but I think this is more the track setup for us in general. Now, Hugh Ackerman did not have a good practice session. Well, damn it. Ryan Foster's doing stellar. Leslie Gomez is the pole winner. And we are stuck right back there in 10th place. Stuck on the outside ring, which is what I kind of hate. I prefer to be on the inside. I like taking my turns, going on the turns a little bit lower. It just seems easier to control at that point. And knowing I won't have the same kind of start that they do, I tried to get down below, but he does block me off day, and so I kind of have to maintain right beside him. I'm being up, not at top speed for this first. Ooh, trying to kick it around, and we end up bumping him, and someone shoots down below us. And now we're going 3 wide, just bouncing off. Ooh, and hitting the wall. That's going to do some damage to our aero package that we have for this car. And that's, this driving is just too ridiculous. And I just can't drift around. I don't have the touch yet. It's going to take a while. It's been a little while since I've actually played a racing game outside of the Formula One. But this is totally different style of racing than what you get with Formula One. In the sense of this is just left turns only. But taking them at these speeds, it makes them pretty difficult to deal with. Now we have more or less maintained our top 10 spot. We are battling for 10th and 11th right now. We got a couple guys on our keister pushing us, trying to take that from us, but we are maintaining our line, and this is probably so far the best race we've had. Stage 1 is only going to be 6 laps, so we got to be sure to be defensive and block these guys off, but I can't really sacrifice speed or even my position on the track because that'll allow them to shoot around me, just like he's trying to do right now as he bumps me, puts me into the wall. Anderson comes flying through and pushes me around, and then so does Carter. These two guys shoving me all over the track. And naturally, these cars are hard to control anyways, but now that you're getting pushed around, it makes it 10 times worse. So here we go, get ready for the last lap of this stage as we are in 12th, so we have dropped 2 spots since qualifying, but trying to get it back up in there and at least maintain where we're at. We have one more guy coming down below. It's got to cut him off right there. Unable to, look at him, he just shoving me to the side. That can't be right. Hunter, punk, but gives us 13th. Now, if you're a glass half full kind of person like me, you go, well, 13th, yeah, we dropped 3 spots, but that put us down on the lower rim. Now, we did maintain pretty much the 13 to 10 through the second stage. So here in the third and final stage, we're actually on the final few laps of this race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and we have made it into the top 10. So we're back at 9th. We've actually increased our total position by 1, battling for 8th spot against Wood, who's putting up quite a fight for it as we come in here with 3 laps remaining. Kind of got some of these turns down a little bit better than what we've had in the previous, but like I said, that's the track that we're at. When you come to a NASCAR track, you just cover it with dirt. It makes your life just a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? So 2 laps remaining. We are in 8th place, trying to chase down Foster for 7th. And if we can pull that off and actually get past them, we might be able to get some money and continue to save up for the next season when we do start our own team, which is something to look forward to in the next episode. You will see the beginnings of the Champion Sons Racing. And so here at the 29th and final lap, we're not going to be able to overtake them for 7th, but at least we did increase our positioning to 8th and finish up with our first top 10 of our career here in our NASCAR basically life. So 8th place finish. Good speed rating for this track. Good turning. I like how we continued to fight, maintain within the top 15 for the first 2 stages, and that really helped us get along in that third and final one to finish up here in the top 10. So that will only give us a couple $1,000, so our total in the bank is almost 14 grand. Well, like I said, that's something that really we're making sure to save up for when we do try to start our own team. Now that we finally get a top 10, now the other drivers are kind of gaining some respect for us. Bunch of dang bums, I tell you. That's all it took. If they had just told me that, I would have tried to get a top 10 earlier. I'm just kidding. So we're going to, like I said, simulate up through these races so we can get into the next season. Here we are just setting all these incentive contracts. It's kind of a standard thing as far as NASCAR Heat series went. Always had these little, I guess it gives you something to shoot for. But when you don't have your own team and you're racing on someone else's team, yeah, it's one of those. I'm not sure I see that much distress about over it. So this next race that we are going to be in is going to be here in Texas. Now our incentive contract is asking for 2 top 20s, and if we can dunk one of those out here at the Texas short track, that would actually be a big thing for us. And give us kind of a good launching pattern for the remainder of this incentive contract and these final 8 races that we have in this season. So we are going to jump into it. Actually, we're going to advance ahead. Whoopsie. To the Mountain Dew 100. Forget you, Texas. We're going to Mountain Dew. Do the do, as they say, at these fanatic fairgrounds, which seems like the proper place to have a dirt race. I'll say that much. Here we are getting ready for the green flag to drop, and this is going to be kind of a hectic one. We have moved closer to the end of the season. I think we have this race and one more race that we're going to be showing, and that'll complete season 1 of our dirt racing adventure. But shooting down below, giving us that good inside line. We just took it too hard and slung us out. But we have some decent speed now and shot all the way up to 16th position. And this first stage is going to be 6 laps and starting to get the drifting a little bit more coming around as we actually moved ourselves up from 18th all the way down into the 15th spot and continuing to push. Ooh, get out of my way, Anderson. That's what you get for hitting me in that very first race. Bum. As we come slinging around there, bumping off Anderson, moving up into the 12th spot, following behind Gomez here on the second lap of this 6 lap stage. Now, not that these guys didn't try to continue to push, but we actually, if you see, we're actually getting some better headway coming out of these turns and on the straightaways. where we can actually build some speed and maintain our spot. That's always been something that's kind of a struggle for us. And anytime you start out in NASCAR, that's one of the biggest things. Ooh, here comes that Stevenson. Ooh, man, I thought that was Anderson coming back for a little revenge tapper. Now remember, even though just because they hit you, they didn't bump you, they didn't nudge you, they didn't ram you, all right? They just rubbed you, and rubbing, son, is racing. Ask Robert Duvall. That's all I'm saying. As we've actually moved up into the 11th spot while I've been trailing on about freaking Robert Duvall. There in the 5th lap, maintaining number 11, trying to get back into the top 10. And if we can get another top 10 finish on this season, that'll be big time for us as far as gaining, I guess, respect, like we actually care about that. And kind of getting set up for the next season. But needing to finish that out. Stevenson just flew right past us. Good on that turn. He did a good job cutting it inside. But we're going to hit him right back with it. Now, on that drift, you can't go too far, and we did, and so it slowed us down. And Stevenson, me and this guy, I can tell, are just going to be battling for the rest of this race. I've got a feeling. 6th and final lap, holding on to 9th, and he'll take it from us, but at least we finish in the top 10. That should give us some form of points. Yes, it does. 1 point. 1 point in that stage. That was brilliant. So here we come back now. This is the 3rd and final stage. We are 11th starting out. So we did drop a little bit, but I don't really mind that too much because, once again, as I said, it puts us on the inside track. But very quickly, Cobb and whoever other guy is just shoved us out of the way. Norton and Cobb made it go 3 wide and pushed me out on the outside. That allowed Wood to sneak in underneath me. So now we dropped back to 15th spot with Jones passing us. Needing to get a hold of ourselves here. We've only got about 8 laps remaining here in this one. Still 14th. Trying to get that one drifted kind of too much coming out of the turn, and so it did slow us down. Now we're hitting these things a little bit harder, which gives us a good chance to gain. But here comes, what is that, Jones again? Sneaking past us on the inside. And that's, like I said, the hardest thing about these tracks is the way it does make you kind of sling to the outside. You know, you don't get that too much when you're talking the trucks or even the cars, but dirt racing, yeah, that can happen real easy. Especially there's different kinds of dirt. You see the layers, the dark versus the lighter. That actually does make a difference when it comes to these dirt tracks as far as which one you go on, which is going to have more grip, which is going to allow you to slide a little bit more. It is a big thing to take a look at anytime you get into these dirt races. As we're coming around now, about 6 laps remaining, we have kind of moved up into 14th, battling for that number 14 spot with Jones, who's staying in our sights. He hasn't taken advantage like Cobb and Norton and kind of shot out there ahead of us. And so if we can maintain this line, I think we have a pretty good chance of getting past him. You see we have pretty even speed coming down those straightaways. And we've gotten, kind of flew past him right there. Put some pretty good distance between him as we've now taken over the 14th spot with 5 laps remaining in this one. We come around chasing down Norton. He's in our side. He pissed us off earlier because he rammed us into the side, pushed us off our line and dang near into the wall to get going in this race. So swinging it around 14th position. Our timing is pretty rough. That's the hardest thing I'll say about these tracks is timing. You know, the drifting, yeah, that's pretty rough, but you do have to time that out. You saw a couple of those laps I went too long with it, and it slows you down majorly. So if we can hit that just proper coming in, especially down low with as much speed as we got, and, hey, keep the guys in front of us. That's all I really need from y'all, is to remain in front. And then, here we go. We made the pass. We've got the 13th spot. Cobb is not letting it go, though. But we're going to keep it from her. So here comes Norton, trying to turk that one too far. See, that happens, and now Norton's got some wide open space in front of us. So with 2 laps remaining, our timing is 21 seconds. It's not that fast for this track. We should be quicker, but then again, we're not a top 10 team either. So battling for the 13th, we do sling it down underneath, and I think we've got him at 12. With 2 laps remaining, Norton right there on our side, fighting us off, trying to get the 12th spot back. It looks like that's what these last lap is going to be about, trying to fend off Norton. As he slings that one around us, He's going to actually pull up, so we shoot down low. That's what I've figured out with these tracks. Just come out wide, go in low, and we are going to be able to take 12th spot from him, which isn't too bad. You know, I'll say this. We've had worse finishes for sure. But the way this track was and the way our car was, I think 12th place is pretty decent for how we started back out. I'm at around 18th. So moved up. Speed rating is a 90. Wish it was higher. Probably should have done more to make it higher, but just couldn't pull that one off. So now we come to the final race of the inaugural season here at Eldora Speedway, the classic dirt track. And this one is going to be a little bit tough for us, right? You know, our qualifying position, I believe we did pretty decent in the qualifying for what we were expected to do. But once again, I hate being on the outside, even numbers. So we are top 15 qualifying. It is going to be kind of a battle here. But this is a track I think also kind of built for us, right? It's not a short track. It is a speedway, which is something that tends to work to our advantage as we lose control of our car here on that first set of turns, thanks to Gomez giving us a little tapper. And coming around, once again, stage 1 is 6 laps only. Cut these turns a little short and worked our way into the top 10. As we chase down Davis here. We may be 7th place right now, just squirming in 2 laps. We've got ourselves into a top 10 spot and make that top. Ooh, kind of took that turn too far. They almost hit me, spun me all the way around. But we were able to maintain control, and we're about to drop out of the top 10 as quickly as we got in. So lap number 3, maintaining the 8th spot here. Carter, and who is that? Woods on that side? Yeah. Carter and Wood really kind of just pushing me around, hitting me, bumping me, nudging you, revving you, and just overall being bullies, if you will. So we get here in the 4th lap. Still in the top 10, though. We have maintained number 6. I think our defense on these turns has gotten a lot better at timing as far as the gas, the brake, cutting these a little short. I do need to be careful. Coming in, look at how close we get to the wall right there. And, you know, just don't want to wreck out, especially when now we are number 5 position. All right, we've got ourselves in the top 5 right now. Our first ever top 5, if we can actually maintain it, number 4 in the 6th and final lap of this stage. I would kind of prefer to be number 5, but I'll take 4. I'm not complaining. You know, here we come down the final couple turns. We swing it out, and he's going to bump us. Wood nudges us, trying to cut it down below so they can't cut me off. And we'll take 5th spot. So stage 1, number 5, that puts us, it gives us 6 points, but also puts us on the inside, which is what I was looking for. And we will actually maintain that through stage number 2. So coming here into stage number 3, the final 10 laps, we are number 6, battling with Wood for this number 5 spot in this race. So here we come around and just start getting overtaken. Brock comes in, shoves us to the side. But look, we have gotten that turn so much down, so much better than what we've had before. Did a great job with that, coming around, getting that drift going as we continue to kind of push ourselves here with a top 10 finish. Something we're not too keen on doing, especially racing for BGH Racing. They are only a 3-star team, so you know your car is not going to be the most powerful car in the world. So still lap 22, and there they come. Here comes Brock. We lose our control a little bit. We carried that drift too far. We lose the control, drift skid, whatever you want to call it. And so Brock is able to actually easily fly by us. So now we're holding off for 7th spot. We have 6 laps remaining. I've kind of got some of that turned down pretty decently for the most part. So hopefully we can just maintain the top 10, finish here at 7th. And if we can find our way to time to fight forward, then hey, more power to us, right? But finishing off the last race of this first season, a good finish, a good showing. That'll really help propel us into the next season, where hopefully we get some truck series invites, hot seat invites, and kind of start building up our own team and our own brand here in the dirt racing world, to eventually make that move up to NASCAR. So 25, we're on the 25th lap. We got 5 remaining here in the number 7 spot, cutting these turns down low, making up space against Brock. and trying to get in that top 5. That's where we are aiming for right now. Lap number 26. We swing it around. We are flying, making pretty good pace right now. Here we come, trying to fight that one off to get inside on them. And, ooh, Higgins, lap traffic getting in our way. Kind of bumped him a little bit, and that's going to cause us to lose control, so we kind of swing out a lot further than what we should have. So 27th lap here, still maintaining position 7, but coming into lap traffic right now, and that's causing a little bit of chaos as people are trying to get around this track and maintain. Actually, if we can get them to slow the guys down in front of us, that'll make our lives that much better, give us a chance to actually catch up to them. Instead, guys like Foster are cutting us off. 28th lap, trying to swing it around and catch up. Ooh, take that one too far. Go forward, and that wrecked us out. They did not finish. That's what just happened, ladies and gentlemen. And no, I'm not going to restart it. Did not finish is how we completed the first season. If that doesn't sum up this season, I'm not sure what could sum it up more perfectly than that. So yeah, here we are. I guess getting ready for the second season now after we wrecked out in our last one. Left BGH Racing with a wrecked car. So we are going to start our own team at this point. We've got the money, so we'll go ahead and get this team started. Champ and Sons Racing, that's going to be pretty big for us. Now, while we do go through the setup of our team, I do want to remind y'all to go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you have not hit it already. And definitely give us a thumbs up if you did like today's video or you're just a NASCAR fan in general, because the thumbs up really do help us out, and we greatly appreciate everything that y'all do for us here at Champ and Sons. So here we are getting set up. Now they're going through the customized stuff. Choose your car, short track, long track. Take a look at what you have coming. This stuff is pretty standard. It'll happen genuinely, I think, I don't think it happens with every other segment that you create, but should have expected it here. Engine specialist, yes, I know. They even give you that nice little opportunity to do some additional work and everything to get your car extra set up. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to go ahead and finish doing some of this stuff behind the scenes, and then in the next episode, I will join y'all for the start of season number 2. We will finally be racing on our own team, making our own way, and trying to build up to greatness from here. So thank y'all for joining us, everybody, and I will see y'all next time. So as always, stay safe, and well, you guys know how it goes by now. Later, y'all.